Hi guys, I know some of you might be squeamish, so just a little warning that the following video features me shaving more or less seriously for the first time in several months, trying to remove a very coarse, thick beard. And doing so, I did manage to clip myself a couple of good times. So there's a little bit of blood here. So if you're a little bit squeamish, just be aware of that. Nothing too gross. You can see I survived completely intact by the end of it. Enjoy. Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong, welcome to the back office. You can see I'm a little bit bushy. This is quite a few weeks worth of growth, and over the Christmas vacation I've allowed it to grow out a bit, but the problem is it's really not, it's getting annoying for me, so I wanted to trim it down. So I do own one of these, and this is a Babyliss for men beard trimmer. I don't remember the exact model, in fact let me have a look. It's a T847U type T107A, and I'll just show you this. It's basically like a small beard hair trimmer, and I got this model because it actually has this guide with these graduations on the back in millimeters so that you could achieve a certain type of cut. Now I'm very disappointed in these because these are quite expensive units, and what you'll find is the teeth on the guard actually broke. So when you try to use this, it ends up going way too short. So what I did try this morning, I did already try something. I got one of these hair trimmers. Okay, you've probably got these, they're all pretty standard stuff. And I actually did a line here. And then I noticed it's way too short. It doesn't have the adjustability of the beard trimmer. So now I find myself thinking, well, what's the point of keeping this? I might as well go through the whole process and actually shave this all down. And what better way to do it than this Merkur Future razor and a brand new Lord blade, which actually I might as well just load now while I'm talking. And well, I thought we could have a little bit of fun with this. So I can actually do, say, half my face with just the safety razor alone, and the other half having trimmed it down with the hair trimmers first, just as a sort of test to see which is quicker. You know, these razors are actually quite sharp. Maybe if they'll cut through the hair growth pretty quickly, you might as well just use this. Or if you use the hair trimmers first and get it down to, say, a number 1 grade or number 0 grade, and then use this, does that work out quicker? So we'll do that little experiment. But before that, you know, seeing as I'm going through the whole motions here, I just thought I'd show you another couple of gadgets. This is a nasal trimmer. This is a Remington Titanium NE6T. I've had this one for actually quite a few years. Let me hold that up to you so you can see exactly what it looks like. Okay, it's got an articulated head here. Okay, and just simple on-off switch. Brass ends, easy to clean it. I think it came with a brush and the lid, but I've since lost those. And yeah, if you've never used one of these, very easy. Just turn them on, pop them up your nose. Yeah. Don't know if you can hear that. They're not very aggressive. Despite me having a cold, it's not getting bunged up with mucus and gross things. It does its job. Yeah, it's kind of working. It's fine. You just persevere with these, just keep routing them around, and eventually you'll get everything. And if you've got hairy ears, you can pop them in the ears. Also, this is another one I've got. This is something I got recently. This is a Micro Touch. And this is really quite, I don't know if this is a clone of a different product. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm not being very clear here. I don't know if this is a clone of a different product, but it actually looks quite good in the pictures, but when you get it in your hand, it's really awful. So it's basically got a small kind of hair type shaving brush on the end, and it's got a built-in light as well, which I don't know, that kind of could be useful. And I think the idea is you can use it for sort of trimming your sideburns and potentially putting up your nose, but let me have a go. I don't think I just get any success with this. Yeah, if you're buying it as a sort of, you know, generic trimmer, and you want it to make sure it can do your nasal passageway or your ears, then I don't think this is going to do it for you. I mean, this will maybe do outside hair, you know, like your sideburns. If you've got hairy ears, some people do. You know, you could do your bits and pieces or your cheeks. eyebrows potentially as well. But yeah, don't get this if you want to shove it up your nose, because it's not going to work out for you. And I think this was maybe £5 on eBay. Don't, just steer clear of it. It's actually a waste of money. It looks quite good in the pictures. I suspect it's a QVC type thing. Useless. Right, so those things are out of the way. Let's just jump straight in. I'm going to do half my face with the trimmers. In fact, I'm going to take the guard off completely. And then the other half of my face I'm going to do with the razor. While I'm doing that, I'll just run the basin here so we get some hot water for the shave. Right, off we go. Okay, pretty easy, pretty quick. Okay, so frankly I think it's going to be safe to say that doing this is going to, and shaving it first with the hair trimmers prior to using the razor is going to be the fastest route. But you know, in the name of science, let's just see what we can do. Right, so I've got my Arko shaving soap here. I think we've already covered this in a previous video. In fact, I'm going to just, I know people phone in, that's fine before I phone in, leave comments about using this and how I'm using it wrong and how I should be using it, but let's just see what we can do. I'm trying to build a lather directly on my face, which I'm sure is going to annoy a lot of people. Okay. Right, so I've got my Merkur. I'm going to set it to a 2. You can't see this. I'm actually using a towel to hold the head. This razor is very slippery when wet. In fact, I've cut myself a couple of times with it. I use these with caution. They are very violent. In fact, I don't know why I use it. I don't like it. It's my most expensive razor and it's the one I least like. But let's see. It's the most aggressive, so it'll be best for this. Right. Wow, look at that. You can see it's pretty much cutting through it. Look at that. Try that with your Gillette Mac 2 or Mac 3 or Mac 5, any of the Macs. You can see even the blade, you see I'm not even cleaning it properly and it's still getting through it. Be very careful on your Cupid's bow with this razor. The last thing you want to do is what I did and clip the corner of your nose. Literally clip it off. This blade will take it off. Sorry, this razor will take it off because the guard is so wide here. Look. Yeah. You can see here I cut myself. I felt that. I was rushing there, I put a little bit too much pressure on the blade. You see, got a little bit of a nip there. Don't worry about it though. Sometimes when you're shaving you can feel yourself cutting yourself. And it's always when you're not concentrating properly. So you can actually feel you've taken a layer of skin. You don't actually feel the pain necessarily, you can just kind of ignore it, but you can't ignore when the blood starts coming out. Right, so that's half done. Now, this will need a second going over. It's hard to say at this point which is quicker, really. Either way, you still have to end up shaving it a second time. Trimming it probably with the hair trimmers is probably quicker at this point, but let's see. If you can do this side in one pass, then the hair trimmers win. Let me just dab this off. So we can avoid the pink shaving foam. I got it good on that chin. So if you have one of these Mirkas, please take your time with it. They're heavy enough that the body of the razor will do all the work. You can see how cautious I'm being with these fiddly areas of this. This will bite you. Okay, now I've got to decide what I'm going to do with this. Push that off. I don't think I can avoid shaving over that area. Although at the same time I don't really want to hit it with my brush, so I'm just going to take this. This is something I got for Christmas for me. It's just some regular Gillette foam. I'm going to try this out. I just don't want to rub a brush into my wound now because it might hurt. Well, it will hurt. So let's just lubricate it with this instead. There we go. Okay, let's just get this side size where we want it. That'll do me. Okay, right. I think we're pretty much done now. I've made a bit of a mess here on my face, so it's a good time to show you another thing that should be in my drawer. One moment. Right. I was getting worried because I couldn't find this, and this is my alum block. So if you haven't got one of these, you might want to get one. If there's the chance, you'll clip yourself. Okay. So it's basically a block of alum, which is some sort of crystalline substance that acts as an astringent. So all you need to do is, I'm going to use the opportunity to rinse my face first. Okay, pat it down. So you can see here, I'm just going to dab it with some water here. This bit on my chin, it's actually here, it's quite an annoying little nick. So rub that down. I've got this bar. It's I've dampened it and I'm just holding it on there. It'll sting a little bit, that's how you know it's doing the work. Okay. It's a bit wet though, so I'm going to just dry this off and just again, a little bit drier now. Hold it on there. And anywhere else you might see yourself that you might have touched. You know, frankly, if you rub it anywhere on there that you'll actually feel a little sting, it'll catch places that you don't even know you nipped. And there you go, you can see it's already starting to coagulate, so I'm not in any rush. If you want to, you can hold it there and work this and stick your little bits of paper on. For me personally, I like to let it dry in the air if I don't have to worry about it right away, if I'm not trying to rush to put on a shirt. Go and have a coffee, come back, dab that gently and it'll be fine. You'll find that the scab it won't have a big scab, it'll just look alright pretty much within an hour or so. Okay, so that's pretty much me and having not a great experience there, but yeah, I think either way, if you have hair trimmers, you can dash it with the hair trimmers and then shave, or just shave straight in. These safety razors are more than aggressive enough to just go straight to beyond the skin if you want. Now, what you can't see is this gross thing down here, which is the sink, and I'm not even going to show you because it just looks like carnage because there's a bit of the water's filthy, full of hair. But from a mess standpoint, I would advise you probably, if you have the electric hair trimmers, to do the electric shave first, because that way you have dry hair that you can bundle up into a bag and throw it in a bin. Whereas if you use the manual razor right away, the safety razor, you're going to end up with a sink full of foam, hair, mush, all wet, all damp, and then you're going to have to try to scoop that all out and get rid of it. So yeah, try the electric razor first. So yeah, please feel free to comment. It's always quite emotive, the subject, and you always tell me I'm doing stuff wrong, and I really appreciate that. Tell me what I'm doing wrong now, how I can improve. Perhaps I'm not using the alum in the way you use the alum, and maybe there's a better technique for me. Thanks for watching.